All right, guys, welcome back to another division draft review. Rather, this time we're looking here at the Moonball division. Of course, I am accompanied by Season 2 champ Gilbert. Gilbert, say hi to the peeps.
What's up, man?
And so let's go ahead and without a further ado, let's introduce the players that will be joining us from the Moonball division. Representing it, we got the Madrid Mankeys, Axa from Spain. Love having them. Third season back. The Florida Fralligators by Superior. We have the Gliding Crowbats, a returning player from last season by Vios. And we have a new player, James, from the Philippines, with coaching the Duck Trio Mama. There's a name for you. And so let's go ahead and start with Madrid Mankeys then, Gilbert. All right. Solid team. What immediately? I mean, my man drafted Torkoal in the first round, Gilbert. Just hit us from there. Why?
He has a Venusaur. He has the Umbreon that likes sun. Roll them Heat or Manatan. That's all I gotta say, man. It's just those four mons love the sun, and they're gonna. Knowing Oxa, he's gonna do great work with the sun team, man. The Torkoal to be able to set up sun. Umbreon with Morning Light to get 74% back. Venusaur, Portfolio Venusaur can do a ton of work with it. And Darmanitan. I think Darmanitan is probably one of the best Choice Scarf users in this league right now. And with the special Flare Blitz, even if it's resistant, man, I don't want to take that Flare Blitz from that Darmanitan.
Right, especially right, not even the sun, another 50% boost, right?
Yeah, that's
so one of the interesting things that can you put me in his shoes? Galarian Weezing. How do you go around playing Galarian? Because I feel maybe you kind of like the abilities, right, of these Pokemon. You like the Chlorophyll. You like, obviously, the Sun. You like the Regenerator on Reuniclus.
That's the only pick I don't understand on this whole team. Other than that, man, the team looks great. It's just the one Mon that's standing as Galarian Weezing. I understand if you would have like Slacking or Regigigas, something like that in this draft league, but he doesn't. So there's really not one Mon that like benefits from this, because every Mon here likes his ability. Darmanitan has a Sheer Force. Togekiss has String Grace. Reuniclus has Wonder Guard. Torkoal has, of course, he has Sun. Rotom Heat has Levitate, so I don't understand when you get rid of that. Umbreon has Synchronize. Venusaur has Chlorophyll. Xatu has Magic Balance, and Rhyperior has two great ones. He has Lightning Rod, and he has one that helps against super effective moves. It's
the something rock, right? Rock, or I don't know what it's called, something like that. Yeah.
And
so the Como, he drafted it. I believe it was the last round. I believe it was his last pick. He drafted the Como O, so he finally he was the last player to pick an S tier of the players that were eligible to draft. So obviously it's something that probably doesn't synchronize completely with his team, but he wanted to have an S tier. Como, obviously it's an S tier. It is good. How can he integrate this into his team? How can he provide synergy to that Como to this team with it essentially just being a free pickup?
So looking at it, guys, I don't understand. Looking at it, I don't understand. It's gonna be very hard to get it synchronized with the team, because his team looks like so well. Like this is a team like he could bring 3 A's and like, man, he does so well. I think Como is probably the second best Dragon type in our format with Draft League. Can do so many different things. Belly Drum. I think he has like Tangy Scales, which boosts all his stats just to half his health. He has Dragon Dance. He has everything. So I think he's just fitting nicely. Like Kevin Durant joined in with the Warriors, just fits in perfectly. That's a basketball reference. So let me go back, because some of y'all won't realize it. For my European players, it's probably when Ronaldo joined Real Madrid Yankees. Same thing. Just a super great player on a super great team.
Just another Ronaldo was the one that helped them go above and beyond. I don't think that Como is the one that'll be doing that. It's probably the Torque doing the heavy lifting. But yes, so overall, it's going to be a very cool team to see in doubles. Obviously, you're going to get the full effect of these new weather mechanics as well. Mm-hmm. So I'm very interested to see how he plays it on there. Moving on to the next team, we got Superior coaching the Florida Fralligators. He chose the Zoroark. He was really high on the Zoroark. We finally brought Zoroark into our draft league. He's got Salamence and Gyarados. He's got two Pokemon that literally have the exact same ability that he can use in both doubles and singles, which I think is such a good mix, right? What do you think of his team? He's got a lot of flying types.
That's all I was saying, man. He has a lot of flying types. I like the Zork pickup. Zork, Delusion, can do a little bit of trickery here. The Solomon's really good one. Intimidate. Moxie, what more can you say? Just look at his team. Very, very unique. It's not a team that we see very often. Only 2 A tiers, 2 B tiers, 2 S tiers, and rest C tiers. But hey, he can make it work. I could see a lot of things in Miltank, with the bench low, stick to whip. He can make this team work very easily. This is one of the teams I'll have probably in season 3 and do very well with. Just looking at it all around, I like it a lot, man. The Lucario is good. Great party user. The Charizard, if anybody wants to bring Sun, that Charizard will punish you heavily. And I think Miltank, Chino showed it last year. Miltank is probably one of the best defensive mons that we have. Very underrated. I like your draft a lot, man.
Yeah, Miltank, as we saw last season, very underrated Pokemon. I don't really like the fact that his team it's very hindered by Stealth Rocks. His opponents are going to prioritize getting Stealth Rocks up. A lot of his team does not like it, and he has to defog them away. He has no spinners, I believe. So that could be an issue. It will be an issue, not could. It will be an issue. The whole 6 C tiers, I think 3 at most, right, is probably the most you want to have, and even then that's a lot. So he went with 6. Now, on the other side, he has a lot of flexibility in what he wants to bring, because he could bring 5 of those C tiers if he wanted. He can bring 4. He can, right, we've seen Zacchaeus bring 3 and 3 Bs one time. So, but as far as his S, I actually love both of his S tiers, and I really do like both of the A tiers. I think the very top part of his draft, to me, I really like it. I think there's some stuff to like about this team. It has some potential on it. But this is a team, though, I think he's going to have to play well to get this team to work well. So if he can make it work, then I think it's going to be more of an attribute for him. So we'll go ahead and move on to Dugtrio Mama. He's got... this is coached by James. Or Gliding Crobats, I'm sorry, rather. Gliding Crobats, and we're skipping you, Vios, I'm sorry. We're going to Gliding Crobats, coached by Vios. Returning from last season. He knows more now. Feels he drafted a bit better. He's got Lando T. We all know about Lando T. He's got Cresselia. He's got the Corviknight. Obviously, big Blissey there, right? He's got Vaporeon, who's just recently moved to C tier, which is going to be really great. But the big one, he's got 2 big ones. He's got Sand with Hippowdon, and he's got the Indeedee female. What say you about that stuff?
So I'm looking at it. Cresselia is going to love the Psychic Train. And I believe it was Psychic Train, if I'm not mistaken. It misses with priority moves. You can't use priority moves in Psychic Train. So that's going to be very big. Man, he has some... Let's be honest, he has 2 of the best walls in the game. Well, Corviknight and Blissey. We both know this from the Gen 8 OU ladder. Those are the only 2 mons you see. I think his team is very well constructed. Can do a lot of things great. I mean, with Hippowdon with Sand, helps out Landorus, helps out Corviknight. Man, what more can you say about this team? This team is very scary. I'm ready to see him bring what he brings to the first week, because that's really going to determine a lot of things. And especially Vaporeon, that's another one. Vaporeon C tier, man. For so many seasons, Vaporeon was in B tier, and he was probably the best B tier. And now look at him in C tier. That's even more scary. And the Rose Raid, my dude. I know season 3, wasn't he like the kill leader for a long period of time? Rose Raid was.
Yeah, went back into season 3. Yeah, he was up there. They're getting KOs with them left and right.
Well, and 125 special attack, that still is very great, very, very great, especially in draft. So I really love it. I can't. I don't know what to hate about this team. It looks perfect, all around, very good team.
Yeah, it's a team that I think he put together. I think it's one of the drafts that he'll be happy with. The only thing I'm kind of looking at is we know when Pokemon, when they have such a great moveset, you don't know what to put on it, right? It has the 4 moveset syndrome. I think he sort of has that as far as Pokemon to bring at the top, because you cannot bring Lando T, Cresselia, Corviknight, and Blissey to a battle. So to leave one of those out, like, you almost have to always bring... I don't even know how Deontay ever makes it, but to have to leave one of those 4 out is going to always feel bad. So it's gonna require some good team building on his part. Like, and that's a good problem to have, to build your team so well that it's gonna feel tough to not. How does he overcome that as well? That's the other interesting thing. So now we'll go ahead and move on to James then. Properly this time. Dub Trio Mama, right?
Yes, sir.
Move on to James. Now, full disclosure, James did, it was going to be 3 in the morning when we were going to do the draft his time. So he had sent me a list of 6 Pokemon, roughly 6 Pokemon each tier, asking me, basically when, so first round, whatever S tier was available, I was going to draft it for him. And the second and third round, whatever A tiers were on his list that weren't taken from order priority, at the top to bottom, I was going to take that. So it was just so he wouldn't be that far behind and picking up only free agents, essentially. So that's why you might not see such synergy as far as his team. But he was still, Rillaboom was on his list. I think it was like second on his list. He was able to grab it, which is really good for him. He actually wanted the Lando T, which got taken a few picks before him. But Rillaboom was his next pick that he wanted. He grabbed. He was able to get the Incineroar, able to get a Moongus, able to get Grimmsnarl. I'm talking about things that were really high on his list. He really wanted any of the slow brothers, right? Any of the slow twins, Galarian or otherwise. He was able to get normal Slowbro, which we know how great that is. And he's got the Pelipper for Rain. I was really interested in why he still wanted the Pelipper, knowing that he couldn't full well build a water team around it. But as far as what we see here, what stands out to you?
Rillaboom, the best grassy train setter that we have. The Scuzzy Mon. You know about Moongus. Remember, man? You remember.
We know about Moongus. It's freshly in the A tier here. We got it bumped up now because of how dominant it was.
And Incineroar, probably the best dark type for double battles.
With its newly parting shot this generation as well now, right? The parting shot that we know from VGC. It does have its full moveset now.
And he has Intimidate, like, on top of that. Like, really? Intimidate, parting shot, fake out. Like, what more can you ask for doubles mon? Grimmsnarl is another one, probably the best double prankster user. Can set up both screens up. Very dark, great typing.
Yeah, my man, James is playing a 2020 VGC over here. He's playing before the restricted mons were allowed. He's got the VGC team here, all right?
and looking at, he has a Slowbro with Trick Room is so good, especially for double battles, so good. And especially the Slowbro for singles with Teleport. I mean, we were talking about this the other day, like, man, is he a little too strong for being a B tier? He might be. We'll see and determine.
Yeah, we were close to moving some of the slows up to B tier. Up to A tier, so hopefully that doesn't become an issue where it is broken. But as you're saying, right, that does show how strong it is. Now, James was one of the players that I grabbed that was a really high doubles OU player, and I think you can see, like, even not even being here, he was still able to grab a great doubles team. So that's why when I kind of made that joke about the VGC, it kind of, it makes sense, right? It goes with it because that's what he was playing when I found him. So that one's going to be cool to see how he puts it together. He does still have one Pokemon that he needs to pick up. That's why there's a blank slot there. So we'll see. Hopefully, he kind of gets that figured out. So as far as wrapping up the Moonball division here, Gilbert, again, you've got one Master Ball. Who are you throwing it at? Whose team are you throwing it at?
Gliding Crobats, man. Whoever's going to be playing against him, man, you better bring your water bottle. You better be sitting down because it's going to be a long game. You're going to think very hard against the Gliding Crobats. Just letting you know that right now. He seems like he's a very great player. It's into Gliding Crobats.
Yeah, Gliding Crobats has a really good team as well. I think I'm just a sucker for weather-based ones, so I think I would have to give a little bit of a shout there to Madrid Mankeys. But I'm not the one who's picking it. You're the one picking it. I'm just here commenting.
Okay. The reason I also said he gets a Master Ball is because I think he went Trick Room for a reason. And then his mons have over 100 speed, so I already know what this man might be going with. So yeah, I'm going to take Gliding Crobats.
Yeah, I think that's a very solid choice. I do think it's a good team. Like, it still just makes me happy. There's a lot of good teams, as you guys are also going to see in our other division breakdowns. So many good teams this league, man. I mean, just well done, well drafted. So that wraps up the Moonball division for us, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed. Good luck to everybody, not only in the Moonball division, but in the league. Hope you guys are enjoying these quick draft recaps. Everybody, good luck this season. Take care.